Good morning and happy Wednesday. It is May 6th, 2020, and today we are doing lesson 14.3, and it's all about comparing and describing weight. All right, so weight is about how heavy something is, and the page we're going to be working on today is 558. So if you want to turn to that page, get ready like we always do. Okay, we're going to start off with the lesson here on the visual learning. And then page 558, 558. Give you a second to turn to that while I get our video ready. And here we go. All right. We are going to learn all about weight.
Look at the scale. An apple is on one side and a cherry is on the other. Which fruit is heavier?
Okay. Which fruit here is heavier? We have an apple, we have a cherry. Which one is heavier? Now this blue thing right here, okay, this is called a scale. I'm sure you've heard of it, okay? A scale helps us determine how much something weighs. Okay, now this scale is a one that you can put two items on. Some scales, like when you go to the doctor and you weigh yourself, you just stand on that kind of scale, okay? But this scale is a balance, all right? So you have an apple on one side, you have a cherry on the other. Now, the way this scale works is the heavier item goes down and the lighter item goes up in the air, all right? Because if it's heavier, it's gonna push this side down and it's gonna push this side up in the air, all right? So if you're looking at this picture, and I know you're super smart, you already know the answer, which item here is heavier, the apple or the cherry? Did you say apple? Did you say it? I think you did. All right. I think apple is right. Apple is definitely heavier than cherry.
The apple is heavier. How do you know the apple is heavier than the cherry?
Okay, so what did I tell you about a scale that lets you know the apple is heavier? All right, now some might say, well, the apple's bigger, Mr. Nielsen. Okay, it is. It's definitely bigger. All right, now a lot of times that's how weight works. If something is bigger, it's heavier. But we also know that the scale, this balance here, okay, if it was the same weight, the scale would be like this. It would be even, okay? But because one side is heavier and it's down here, when you have the scale, that's how you can tell, all right? So it looks like if I had these two candles on a scale, all right, you know I like to use these candles, right? They would not be the same, all right, because the scale would not be like this. It would look like this, right? This one's heavier, so it would be lower because it's pushing it down. It's heavier, and it would force this one up in the air. I wish I had a scale here to show you, okay? But it would push it like that, and the scale would be this way with the heavier candle at the bottom. So when you have the apple here, the heavier apple moves the scale down, and the cherry goes up in the air.
The side with the apple is lower. Look, two apples are on the scale now. Which apple is heavier?
So what did we say when the scale is even like that, okay? When it's straight across, the scale is what? It's straight, so the apples are the same, right? Neither one is heavier because the scale is like this. If one was lower than the other, then we would be able to say one is heavier. But because they are the same right now, let's see.
Neither apple is heavier. They weigh the same. The weight of the first apple is equal to the weight of the second apple. How do you know they are equal?
Okay, and again, how do we know they are equal? Well, we said the scale is balanced, right? It's the same. It's not, one's not down, one's not lower than the other. They're at the same spot.
Neither side of the scale is down. The scale has a melon on it now. Which fruit is lighter?
Okay, listen to the word they used, lighter. All right, so when we talk about weight, we're talking about heavier and lighter. Okay, yesterday when we did capacity, we did more and less. Okay, but this is weight. We're talking about lighter and heavier. So you need to say, okay, the cherry was lighter than the apple, or the apple was heavier than the cherry. Now we have a melon. So is the melon heavier or lighter than the apple? Well, you're saying the melon's heavier, Mr. Nielsen. So which fruit is lighter? If you said the apple, great job. Let's see.
The apple is lighter. How do you know the apple is lighter?
Okay, so now tell me, how do you know the apple is lighter? What gives it away? Okay. Yes, I'm hearing some good answers. Good. Yeah, someone said because the melon's bigger. Okay. Oh, someone said because the melon is lower. Excellent, right? So the scale is not like this. It's not balanced. It's like this, right? The melon's at the bottom here. The melon is lower, which means the melon is heavier, and the apple's up high means it's lighter.
The side with the apple is higher. Which fruit is heavier?
Okay, and you already told me this.
The melon is heavier. How do you know?
And we already talked about this, right? How do we know the melon is heavier? The melon is lower, and if it's lower, then it's heavier.
The side with the melon is down.
Now you know how to use a scale to tell which objects are heavier and which are lighter.
Okay, so we had a scale here. If we were in class, we could do all kinds of stuff with putting the scale at the same spot, and then you drop some stuff in each side to compare to see which side is heavier, which side is lighter. And we'd always know which one was heavier because it would go down, all right? The side that is lower, the side that goes down is always heavier, okay? So let's flip to our page in our book, page 558, 558. All right, and you're gonna see the first picture that we have as our first problem. They do it for us, all right? But the first picture is comparing a TV. All right, I see it right here. Hang on. I zoomed in a little too much. Let me get my markers. Okay, so I have this CD here, and it looks like the DVD and the TV, right? So it's saying which one would be heavier if they were both on the scale. Which one would be heavier? Now, they're not giving you the scale. They don't show you the scale, so you can't see. But if you were going to put a TV on one scale and the CD on the other side, which one would drop lower? Which one would be heavier? You circle the one that's heavier, and you X the one that is lighter. Remember, lighter goes up, heavier goes down. Lighter goes up, heavier goes down. Okay? Think about that when you're doing this next one. Okay? You can do all these problems on this page by yourself. Okay, circle the one that is heavier for number 2. Circle the one that's heavier for number 3. Circle the one that's heavier for number 4. Put an X on the ones that are lighter. Okay, so for each problem, you circle the heavier, X out the lighter, and you may go. I'll give you some time, and then we'll go over them. All right. You should have done number 2. You're probably on number 3. I see a computer and I see a phone. Which one's heavier, the computer or the phone? Circle the one that's heavier. Put an X on the one that's lighter. Now let's go to the crayon one. You have a whole box of crayons or you just have one crayon. Which one's heavier? Which one's lighter? Okay, let's go over them. This one here, this book, definitely heavier than this. I think it's a page from the book. Page would be really light and the book would be heavy down here. What about this? The phone is definitely lighter than a computer because my computer weighs way more than my phone. If I were to pick up my computer, it's right in front of me. I can't pick it up, right? And my phone, all right, my computer would be down here and my phone would be up here. If I had my math book here, okay, and I had it on the scale and I had one page from my math book, which one would be heavier, the whole book or just this one page? The whole book is definitely heavier than just one page, right? And then what about a crayon? If you take out one crayon from the box, is the crayon box or just that one crayon heavier? Which one? The crayon box would be heavier, right? It's got all those crayons in it. And then this one here just has one crayon. Excellent job. Let's go to the next page. I think you're going to fly through this, all right? There's going to be 6 problems on this page. Let me zoom out. Here you go, okay? Same thing we've been doing, okay? Underline it if it's the same. Circle it if it's heavier. X it if it's lighter, okay? You can do all of these problems right now. There's 6 of them right here. Underline it if they're the same. Circle the heavier one. X out the lighter one. Okay, remember, if they're on the scale, which one will be heavier? You want to circle it. I'll give you a minute here to do these on your own. That number 6 is a backpack and a piece of paper. Okay, number 5, you see what that is. That's some bread there. Number 7, we have an orange and a cherry. Number 8, we have 2 clocks, but they're different. Okay. Number 9 is bananas, but again, they're different. Number 10, we have some jewelry. So circle the lighter or circle the heavier one, X out the lighter one, and underline them if they're the same. We're going to go over these in a minute here. I hope you're working hard. I see some people doing a great job. I see someone's done already. Wow, you were doing it real fast. All right, let's double check. We'll start with number 5 here. These 2 pieces of bread, which one weighs more? Well, to me, they look the same. I don't know about you, but I think they look the same, so I'm going to underline them, okay? They look the same to me, so I'm going to underline it. What about a backpack? If you had on your backpack and then you had 1 piece of paper, which one weighs more? Which one is heavier? If I picked up my backpack and I picked up 1 piece of paper, would they be the same? No. Which would be heavier? The backpack, right? And the paper would be lighter, so we put an X on it. Okay, good. Now, an orange and a cherry. Now, the picture here looks kind of close, right? They look like they're kind of the same, but not necessarily the same size. The orange looks a little bigger, and if you've ever held an orange and you've held a cherry, which one's heavier? I know oranges are heavier than the cherry, right? So the orange would be the one you circled. I hope you got that one right. Okay, stay with me now. We're on number 8 with the clocks. Look at these 2 clocks. Yes, they're both clocks, but are they the same weight? No way. This clock is definitely smaller. So this clock must be lighter. This clock must be heavier because it's way bigger. Okay, so it's got to be heavier. It's way bigger, right? All right, so this clock is bigger for sure, and it's heavier. Number 9, 1 banana or 4 bananas. Which one weighs more? If I had 1 banana or if I had 4 bananas, which one would be heavier? If you went to the store and you picked up 4 bananas and you picked up 1 banana, which would be heavier? Circle the one that you think would be heavier. And I hope you circled this one with the 4 bananas and you put an X on the lighter one. Good job. All right, number 10. I see a necklace and I see a ring. Now, maybe your mom has a ring at home and a necklace, okay? And you see them, right? The ring is really small, but the necklace is really big. It goes around your whole head, right? So you put your necklace on around your neck, okay? But it's got to be able to fit over your head sometimes. So it's got to be a lot bigger than a ring that just has to fit on your finger. So which one do you think is heavier? This necklace here or just this ring? Which one do you think is heavier? Circle the one that's heavier. And let's put an X on the one that's lighter. Which do you think is lighter? Let's put an X on it. I think the ring is probably pretty light, okay? And the necklace is heavier. Now, sometimes necklaces could have very heavy stuff on it, all right? Sometimes they could still be kind of light, but if we're comparing these two, this necklace has a lot of stuff on it, so it's probably heavy. This ring, right, just has one little diamond here, okay? So that would be lighter. All right, I'm sure you all got that right. Great job. Let's flip it. We only have a few more here. And this page is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get to draw some stuff. So let's do number 11. Circle the one that's heavier. Number 11 here, out of the dog or the butterfly. Let's do it together. We can do it pretty quick. Circle the one that's heavier. X out the one that's lighter. Which one did you circle? Did you circle the dog? I think you should have, because that's definitely heavier than a butterfly, right? Now, this makes this butterfly look big. This looks like a big butterfly, and this looks like a dog that maybe is kind of small. But guess what? The dog is going to be heavier than the butterfly, right? Butterflies fly through the air. You see butterflies outside. They're very, very small and thin. Okay, so you know they're light, right? They're definitely lighter than dogs. Okay. What about number 12 here? Number 12 here has a dad and his kid, right? Circle the one that's heavier. X out the one that's lighter. If you are next to your dad, are you heavier than your dad? Are you heavier than your mom? No way, all right? This dad is definitely heavier, and this kid is definitely lighter. Great job, great job. Let's do number 13. Same thing. Circle the heavier one, X out the lighter one. What do you think? What do you think? Are you saying, Mr. Nielsen, I can't X out or circle because they are the same? Yes, you are right. Wow, you're so smart. Okay, just because they're two water bottles, sometimes a water bottle might be bigger. These two just happen to be the same size, right? So you could have a huge water bottle and a small water bottle, but for this picture, they were the same. So we have to say they're the same weight, okay? So those two water bottles are the same weight. All right, now not all water bottles are always going to be the same weight, but in this picture, yes, they are. All right, let's look at number 14 here. I see a big melon, and I see, let's see, I see some grapes on this page, and the same thing, circle the heavier one and X out the lighter one. All right, this should be real quick. You should know, if you had a watermelon in your hand, you'd be trying to hold it up. It'd be super heavy. You'd be pushing down, and the grapes would go up in the air because they're lighter, right? So grapes are light. Grapes are smaller. This watermelon's big, right? It's big and heavy. Remember, heavier goes down, lighter goes up. Okay? We X it out. Number 15 here. All right, here we go. I'm going to read it to you, okay? Number 15. Draw an object that is the same weight as the crayon. So draw whatever you want that you think is the same weight. It'd be the same as that red crayon. What's something you could draw that's the same weight as a red crayon? I hear some good ideas. I hear some good ideas out there. I wonder if you're drawing them. Again, your drawing doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, it's a quick drawing. Let's see, because mine's going to be quick. Guess what? You know how I know that I can make something that looks pretty similar? I'm going to draw the same thing. I have a crayon there, so I'm going to draw a crayon here. And now I know my crayon, I'm going to say blue because that's my favorite color. Oh, that was not the best B or U, but I did my best. Okay, that's a blue crayon, and that is the same weight as the red crayon. Why? Because they're the same size. So if something is the same size, it's going to be the same weight, all right, for this, okay? Now, that might not always happen, but for this, I'm drawing a red crayon and a blue crayon, right? I know they're going to be the same weight, okay? Just like with the water bottles up here, all right, we know they're the same size. They're probably the same weight, okay? And number 16 here, let's do this last one. You're drawing two objects. Now, this is going to be fun because we have some great artists in here. I want you to draw the heavier object on the lower side and the lighter object on the higher side. Okay, so over here, draw something heavy. Over here, draw something light. Anything you want. Go ahead. Okay, it's got to be something heavy, and it's got to be something light on the other side. Remember, you got to put the heavier on the left here with the lower side. So I see someone, oh, I think I see someone drawing a baseball. Oh, I see a football. I see some books. I see a watermelon someone drew. Oh, I see someone trying to draw a dog. Wow. Someone drew a banana. Oh, okay. All right. So over here, you're drawing something that's got to be big, right? So I'm going to draw a baseball. All right. Or or that's my best baseball, okay? Remember, it's not perfect. That's my baseball. Over here, I'm going to draw a marble because I know a baseball is heavier than a marble. And look how small that marble is, right? So you could draw whatever you want as long as it's heavier and as long as this side over here, the higher side is lighter. All right, now this is something I know you already know about, heavier and lighter, but with the scale, heavier is lower, goes down, lighter goes up, right? Lighter goes up. So you did a great job with that. All you have to do today is go on and do your quick check, okay? And tomorrow we're gonna have a super fun IXL lesson, just like last week. There's 2 of them, and you're gonna do it on weight and capacity and height and length, and you're gonna do so great. That's tomorrow, okay? So hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.